So
Shenanigans.
as far as that goes, I guess I'll start off with the question for the panel here today.
Mhm.
Um, and we're talking about history, we're talking about all of that. What's one rumble that you remember fondly from beginning to end?
2001.
Okay, 2001 was a good one. I'm not even gonna lie to you. 2001 was a good one.
2001.
Um, for me, there's multiple answers for this. 2001 is there. Um,
Don't
94.
steal the answers now. Wait, you know what?
Because Tyler has an idea.
No, Tyler
Oh,
doesn't have an
that,
idea.
gotta pick
I'm
one and move
picking
on. You gotta
one
pick one.
solid one, like
You got
one
one
solid
solid
one.
one.
no, it's not like
One
it's
that's
not.
off the board.
This
I'm
ain't the quick
gonna
fix.
nah. I'm yes. That's how I'm gonna do the format. 01's off the board, so I'm not gonna say 01. I'm not gonna go behind you and say 01. Um, you know what? I'm probably gonna go. There's so many good ones. I think I'm gonna go with the when was that? John Cena and Batista, that controversy. That was
Five.
05. Yeah, I'll probably go with that one.
Yeah.
It was a different twist on the controversy, and then Vince coming in there like an asshole and tearing both his quads. It's the most funniest shit to this day. It's hilarious. It never gets old. He's sitting there like a child waiting to get his pamper changed. Like restart the whole damn thing. So I'd say 05.
Anybody else, they're crying their ass off while that's happening.
And you know what? As much as we make fun of him for that, it really that you gotta have balls to sit there and not shed a tear over a torn quad and then walk away with two torn quads like that and then walk away. Clearly he needed assistance when he walked away. I mean, he's not walking away on his own, but he walked away like it was like an ankle sprain.
Yeah.
If you look back and look at the video, I mean, Pat's holding him up, Briscoe's holding him up, but he walked away like it was an ankle sprain. He didn't walk away like he tore two quads. So, but 05 is for me.
Edge's recalling of that story is hilarious. If you can,
I mean, it's on YouTube. It's hilarious.
That literally was a what the fuck happened. The last 30 minutes of that Rumble was literally just how, not even just how, is the only word to describe that.
I don't think okay, so out of that from the 05 Rumble, a lot of people remember the controversy clearly of John Cena and Batista hitting the floor. Everybody remembers that.
Yeah.
But people, if you sit here and say, yo, remember the 05 Rumble? That's the first thing they bring up is Vince tearing his quads. It just, they bring it up. It's something that happens. And the man, it's not like he got in the ring like he normally does. He did something that he normally doesn't do. He slid into the ring. And when he slid in the ring, it was like, why is he still on the floor? And you're just looking at it and he's waving his arms and he's belligerent and he's just and you're just sitting there like, okay, I'm concerned about Vince, but are they going to restart this or are they going to end it like this? Like, what are they going to do? Like, I think now in this era, if that was to happen, as far as two guys going over the top rope, Randy is dying right now. As far as two guys going over the top rope, I feel like they would end the pay-per-view just like that. But in that old era, they just wouldn't do that. Of course,
it was a callback to Brett and Luger.
It was.
Ironically,
it was.
And it's like,
I mean, I get it, but it was just you don't remember that Rumble.
He was crying real.
You not he's legit crying. You don't remember that Rumble only for that. You remember it for the torn quad and Vince just sitting in the middle of the ring. Like, that's what you remember it for.
I also remember Daniel Puder getting his ass beat.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
that's another one. I mean,
Ali.
I was gonna say we could get into later on in this. We can get into guys that surprise entrance or funny entrance because there's been some good ones.
Tyler knows my pick. Tyler knows my pick.
So okay, so what's Randy is done laughing his ass off.
We got
Oh
01,
my
we
god!
got
No, because you kept
01,
hitting home with the
05.
twin quads.
Tyler knows my pick.
It's a staple in WWE history that they just do not sweep under the rug. They're just like, yeah, like I guarantee you, just before anybody answers, I guarantee you, if somebody was to bring that up on live TV, they would be like, oh yeah, remember the 05 Rumble, Vince Torres quads? Like,
Oh man.
No,
I'm pretty sure they'll bring
maybe
it up.
that's what, since you said someone bring it up on TV, maybe that's what Paul London was smiling about. That guy was fired.
That's a long ass payoff. That's a long ass payoff. That was like
For real.
Nah, listen,
Love
Tyler,
Paul
Tyler,
London. Much
Tyler,
love
you
Paul.
know my pick.
Y'all took some of my what do you call it? 01 was dope. 05 was dope. Because you said a Rumble from beginning to end. Like, I'm assuming the Rumble.
Yeah, from beginning to end. Like, you enjoyed the match itself, the entrance, the surprise entrance, all of that.
There's some of the recent Rumbles have been kind of like, I feel it's been hit or miss. Like, you know, I like the 2018 one that Shinsuke won. I thought that was pretty dope in terms of the fact that they had him actually beat Roman to win the Rumble, the whole new school, old school standoff when Rey Mysterio came back to WWE and you had Rey, Cena, and Randy facing off against Shinsuke, Roman, and Finn. Thought that was pretty dope. But it's not the one I'd pick. But that is one of my favorites of the recent Rumbles. Actually, I'm gonna stick with Mysterio because I think from beginning to end, Rey's story in the 06 Rumble doesn't get enough love in terms of how they did it, because not only did Rey, obviously, you know, we know why he won, right? And he had one of the most incredible Rumble performances of all time, which it didn't get touched until like what, 2018. But I think another thing that's really cool that people don't notice is that if you notice Rey Mysterio's Rumble history, he makes it very far in the Rumble a majority of the time he's in there. So for a fan who didn't think, like maybe they didn't know the backstage reason, or well, you would have known because Eddie. But let's say you took that aside, you would have been like, yo, Rey finally fucking did it, because he lasted 30 minutes in this Rumble and 40 minutes in this one. He always seems to get close to the final four. He's getting, like, he always inches his way closer and closer to winning it. So when you saw him win in 06, the fact that he was able to beat Triple H and Randy Orton in the Rumble, of all people, think about that. How many people can actually say they've eliminated both of those guys in the same Rumble?
To be honest with you, just to piggyback off of that, even you got to look at Rey's run from before the Rumble, during the Rumble, and then even at Mania. This man has beat future Hall of Famers. He's, like you said, Triple H, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle. This man has beaten future Hall of Famers. So, I mean, that 06 run is incredible. Nothing short of greatness.
I wish the title run afterwards would have been something similar to that.
Yeah.
Injuries to the rest of the roster, and like
I think it's more so Vince's bias. He was just like, no one's gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just. I feel like it's a part of that as well. It's a mix of both. I'll just head off. It's easy for me. 04. It's very easy for me.
04 was a good one too.
And you know, Tyler, like, it's basically a mixture of everyone's picks combined. You know, it's just kind of like the character moments and just the roster at the time. Like, you had, like, of course you had the Eddies of the world, you had your Benoits, you had Cena basically at the peak of his powers in Thugonomics. You had Randy, and then you had, Cactus Jack coming back whooping his ass. You know what I mean? Like, Goldberg, Lesnar started off at that. Kurt Angle, Eddie started off there. Like, so much different things swung off at that Rumble. And it's like, every time I go back and I watch, like, like when I started watching, before they took down the network and it switched off to Peacock, I watched the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression era primarily so that I could lead to that rise in 04. Like, of course I wanted to watch 05 and 06, but I wanted to get to January 2004 so I could see Benoit, you know, have that moment to see, you know, like, you know, of course, Cena basically have that rise, Eddie have that feud, that match with Chavo Guerrero, like all those different things. That whole pay-per-view, but the Rumble itself, beautiful.
And I want to give one more before we transition, since we talked about Braun Strowman shit and Hacksaw Jim Duggan shit. Since you brought up the 04 Rumble, I'd like to say that's not the only Rumble that fucking happened that year, because that later that week we had the SmackDown Rumble that Eddie fucking won, and I think I'm gonna put it out here again because I swear I've said this before.
You have.
That shit should count. If Braun's I'm gonna be. It led to something. Fucking damn it! Like it actually led to a title victory.
It did.
It did.
It did.
It's not a pay-per-view Rumble, but it's a Rumble, you know. Like that's what it is.
Fuck pay-per-views. They're premium live events now. Fucking pay-per-views.